up straight in the air, it's going to be tough. You're not going to know exactly where to go. People are already looking for the vehicles. The jetpack isn't the most protective one, but for game number 4, Monster says jetpacks. I want to go way back to nostalgic tank fights once again. We've only seen one game of them basically so far. I need that brawly type of automotive action.
Well, at this point, we know the highlight package is going to definitely be NA based because there's going to be a lot of variety in the last 2 games at least to make it give that different feel here and start leaning into it. But as the battle bus does start to take way here, like we said, this is the last game of the day today. So much more competition in front of us for the next couple of days here. Are we just slotted for these same reasons as well? I think we get to rock out, huh? NA,
yeah, I think
that could be pretty nice.
Tomorrow might be all of us sharing NA specifically, but we'll see exactly how it drops down. It might just be 2 that we're doing together, me and you, Monster. But we'll see. We'll see what the intel, the drop is in just a second. For these players, though, it's kind of nuts. Same old, same old. No one switching spots. I like the peace and the non-beef from drop spots pretty much in these charity tournaments.
Yeah, for sure. But up on Dubs and Mega here, I mean, we've known or already seen them quickly make do of the team that lands there. It's the first time we've seen Rogue Shark and Knight be this close to Jumper and Dukes in an early game. How is this going to end up playing out? Both these teams, obviously, pretty consistent on the overall standings for the tournament. For Jumper and Dukes, this means a lot coming off the streak that they have. But no, Knight and Shark, don't want none of that right now.
We're going straight for the tank, and right there, Jumper Snipe. Feel like he might be playing too many different games. There is no wall penetration with the bullets in this one, so that's gonna be weird to see. All good though. Knight gonna rock right in. They'll hijack the tank and repair it up with a torch as well. Should be all good. They are ready to go. They have their win condition locked down.
It's crazy. That's the strat right there, guys. Get that tank, lock it down. All of a sudden you have a big advantage, but not only that, it helps speed up your your farming as well. It's just break through the builds and literally all the loot comes falling down. So really no time to waste. Very optimal way to play it out. Knight, though, glancing around here, just making sure the coast is clear before he ends up bobbing out here.
It'll be good for it. I like this, too. Instead of looting everything, they just let the entire structure fall down. All the loot comes down, too. And the rifts are coming out of chests, apparently. So
I was going to say, I lied. There's a rift.
Hey, no one challenged you, so did you lie really at all? I mean, you're chilling.
No,
keep rolling with the narrative here.
Think about casters, right? Whatever you say, it's just you're right. You know, it's true. No one's ever gonna question it. Just say it with a straight face, and look serious.
Rock it in.
I say this all the time. You know, a lot of times I'm like, yeah, man, he won that tournament in 2019. You know, right there at the end of October. What? Which one? Doesn't matter. What he.
He did.
It happened.
I like that.
Remember? Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Slacks and Clarity might have to make up a few facts about them to give them a nice record so far today. I mean, Slacks had that one good game where he's in a tank, basically being the driver for everyone, dropping off orders left and right. You know what I mean? But they haven't really made it to endgame as a duo yet. I want to see that soon.
Yeah, except in that second game where they popped off in endgame.
Oh yeah,
that was fire.
Yeah, 100%. And then yesterday they won 6 games actually out of the 4.
There you go. Now you get it. No one's gonna know.
Oh man. Ooh, okay. Revenge against Tahi and Paper. They took out Dubs and Mega so fast last game, and this time they're the first ones to take damage.
Yeah, it's not actually looking too good right now. They got a little bit of a pinch going on here. If Dubs gets the high ground, I'm not sure if I saw shockwaves. Yep, there it is. They're going to start coming out. They actually recognize Dubs as solo, so trying to turn things around here. Ooh, big damage comes in. No way. That was kind of fire. Almost, though. Is that Mega just putting in all the shots right now?
Yeah, I think it might just be Mega rocking in. This man is crazy with it. Dubs is the one driving over. They want to make sure they're known and not messed with before this game really drops down. Chonker's also put up top on that truck so they can start to take things off-road. Tahi, although down, not out for the count just yet. Paper can possibly take him up as soon as I say that. He gets completely beamed and he is gone.
Let's see it play out here. You go for the reboot card. Do you just try to stay alive right now? Larson and TK starting to slide up here. Dubs and Mega already recouping back after the damage they took. TK Rift to go in inventory as well, so seems like a little bit of luck is on their side. This is a definitely upgrade for them. MK7 Legendary. It's pretty nice. That's the loot right there from Paper.
He's basically caught between such a crossroads right now. Not exactly sure what he can really do from this point. Meanwhile, across the ways, it was DK that took down Tahi as he was moving in. Everyone's getting so many elims. Larson picking up Noah as well after the fact. We got dictating, bullying teams on one side of the map as well. Paper, the only one surviving. I'm wondering where Nut and Okus are at this complete moment, because they're honestly, I still think, in the lead for this competition. Taken out early last game, but still had 30 points.
Yeah, that is true. That is definitely true. They were taken out probably the earliest we've seen in the competition as far as their recent track goes, with these 4 games being so important. I do have to ask you though, Shayo, you ever get into like manga?
Yes,
manga?
heavily.
Really?
Heavily. Yes, yes.
I didn't know.
But
like
you know,
recently, like just started collecting, or?
For me, I get like big collections for people's birthdays, and then they don't read them, and then I just take them back.
Oh man,
or they
like
give them back.
I've been there before. Like,
yeah.
Bro, I was totally keep this gift. Like, just let me know. Like, just let me know. Keep this gift. I didn't mean
like,
to
yo, I
find
don't use this. Do you want it back? And I'm like, yo, sure. Like, why not? But I got like my sister the entire like OG Naruto collection.
Ooh, sick.
That was fun. I have like she's got the Mob Psycho stuff as well. We kind of just share what we have. And then I read a lot of it just online. Pretty much is always fun. It's always.
I like the
the
physical
anime.
copies. I do like the physical copies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now I have the Death Note collection, and I have the last arc of Bleach.
Okay.
The War arc.
Yeah.
That one's
That's gonna be
fire.
animated, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I gotta catch up on Bleach. I know
Big
nothing
yes.
about the Bleach verse other than like spiritual energy. So.
Oh man, it's deep. It's deep.
So right now I'm watching. I think I'm reading JJK. That is just.
Oh, you
next
reading
level.
through that? Dang.
Yeah, because the way I do it is I watch first, and then if I'm really curious and it's really good, I'll read from where I finished watching. So that is.
That's how pretty much how much I love the spiritual verse over there. Like, yeah, this is fire. Like, I need to know what happens next, and then I pick the manga. But anyways, I ask only because I'm interested. You know.
Yeah.
I want to figure out how to kill some past time. You know.
Oh no, respectfully, I see what you mean. I see what you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
Not much to do. I was talking to Kelly about it too. You know, there's lots of similar interests between friends that can be explored. Same thing with a lot of these players. I mean, these content pieces. We were just talking about it during the break. It just seems like the more the community is just getting together, especially with those media days. It's dope to see like players interact with players. I feel like we haven't seen that in years.
I love that. One of the cool things that came out of like recent media days is the announcement of Nyrox and Aqua just making a return to play with one another. Like, that was something that happened like literally after the EU media day, and I was just thinking to myself, like, you know what I mean? Like, how often do people just get to kick it, talk, and then figure out, like, you know what, maybe this could work again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty clear what they were able to do with being partners and whatnot. So pretty sick dynamics going down. And then, of course, some players that have known each other for years finally get to meet one another as well, in person. That's also pretty sick, just how those stories end up developing and coming about.
Yeah, I mean, I think Fortnite's been stuck in that, like, they think the peak, a lot of the players specifically, just via experience, the peak of gameplay is just how things look online, right? But for a majority of esports, the next step up is how you perform on LAN, right? I would say, like, within the next 10 years, we'd have something. I mean, Saudi Arabia already, via this tournament, they're going to be on site. That's one of the biggest factors sometimes in esports, and the partners you choose to play with on how well you do, how much pressure you handle online or on site, actually, excuse me. I feel like Naras Aqua, I mean, they have the ultimate experience together, right? Like, the peak of on-site placement, winning like a major World Cup. Like, that's crazy. To break that apart, I was so devastated, but bringing that back makes so much more sense.
Talk about D-Roller competing today. I actually saw a tweet from him. He was like, yeah, if I make it all the way to finals, I don't know if my mom's, how she's feeling about the, traveling across the world thing.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help but laugh. But if this all does come to life, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah. the leg up these guys will have, like, just in general for competition in the future, and you know, because that's the way I think. You just mentioned fun. I think about how can you win better. Like, it's insane having that side experience, and the fun as well, being in a new city with friends you've known but not really known, right? Finally meeting them, like, it's an insane experience.
But for sure, we've seen a lot of players that had in-person experience end up taking it and translating well already within Fortnite, which is really cool. But I feel like we're in a position and a time where probably just got to hit the big reset button, right? Like, I think everyone starts off what feels like square one, kind of got to start figuring things out. Obviously, recently we saw the NRG Castle event. That was pretty sick. Shout out to King from Brazil. Can't believe they popped off, right? Ended up coming out with the win there. Did you get to catch any of that?
Oh, I saw like a few clips of it here and there on Twitter, but never got to really follow the full. I knew it was like from what I saw. It was
fire.
Crazy. Yeah.
Nah, yeah, it was fire. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was just zone wars, like whatever. But like the reactions is really what I think just sells the story, right? Being able to see the emotion, you know, after the eliminations and the pop-offs and like all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was King who ended up winning that whole bad boy. It was dope.
Yeah, I mean, I think King, specifically from Sundown's perspective, you know, big fan on that side of Brazil. Even like, I feel like as a region, they always have such a blindsidingly big roll in to internationally. Like, I think across all of esports, Fortnite might have that effect too, right? As soon as, you know, one day, hopefully, international competition comes back, like, I feel like that region's been like in a time chamber, just practicing, getting better. Like, they're going to be insane.
I agree. I don't know who's gonna be, like, I don't know who's the most dominant. You know what I mean? When it really comes down to like international competition, because then you have to. I mean, what are you thinking? EU? You think just
EU, man? It's just EU.
Yeah, but
you want to know why though? Like, I have to
talk about like talk about individuals. Like, as a region, of course, they're the strongest region. Like, no doubt.
But I think as individuals as well, because like NA, right? I think this is just known. Their gameplay is just faster and more aggressive, right? Like, just how things look. Like, that's a big generalization, but you'll notice that, like, in terms of piece control, in terms of just like the way they approach the game, they're insane. I think they're more mechanically gifted than most of the world, and their gameplay shows that. EU is, I feel like, just a lot more slower paced in general in the way they go towards situations. I think on international levels, everyone's kind of, you know, on-site jitters, on-land jitters. They slow down a bit, and it becomes more EU paced than NA paced.
So you think the setting is better for European style?
Exactly. Not saying that they're better entirely, but they get to be on home turf kind of in the way the game is played. That's why they have an edge. I know there's a lot of good players on all regions, but that region specifically has lived inside the slow game in that pace, in end game and like in mid game more than every other region.
Definitely interesting. Not to mention, I mean, most of the European folk, they're schooling. I mean, you're picking up 3-4+ languages, so like your brain just develops better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, take that how you will.
True.
Take that.
It's the time thing too. The
brains, man, I'm telling you.
Time zones are huge. They get to practice more as well. This has been a thing that's been like a argument from NA esports all the time about, like, you know, cross region cups and stuff. EU is just so much more comfortable playing the game. I feel like they get to wake up and play like on a, you know, on their region, and then play on a later region after the fact. You know, like, they don't have to edit their days completely. Where like NA and NA West specifically as well, they have to play till, you know, the late nights or wake up at like 8 a.m. Like, it's so much more so different for other regions across the world.
That is pretty interesting for sure. EU, I guess you could say, just has that prime time slot, like, for sure. Yeah, like you say, you know, their afternoon or early afternoon is kind of the kickoff of their competitions, and then early evening is totally fine, right? Like, you're functioning, and you'll be able to play any competition. It's definitely true. You don't really see too many, I'd say, you know, outstanding NA performers, I guess, right? Like, that play the EU Cups and whatnot.
Yeah, I think
DGen probably one of the only ones, actually.
Facts. Yeah. He's there on the bottom right with chat. And it does have the advantage though overall. I just feel like of being here earlier and being at lands earlier and just being better earlier. I feel like they had an edge beforehand, right? And that edge stays. Yeah.
Oh, you think it stays even now?
I think it stays even now. Like, the inspiration, the drive that NA had before as well. They also just like, I cast to you, but I have an NA bias as well, right? Like, I always feel like they work really well from the underdog spot, and like they're just built different, so to speak, in terms of back against the wall.
Yeah, that's really cool. I don't know what to expect. Like,
Yeah.
if you simulate all the regions in person, like however X amount of times, you know what I mean, to get to like some kind of result. Like, I don't know how many it would take for me to like definitively
Like, okay,
decide,
this is
if you
how it
will.
is.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, does it take 3 tournaments? 4 tournaments?
Yeah, because that's the other thing, right? Last time it was
Format,
just
right? It really depends.
6 games of a format is all we
Yeah,
have to look back
that
on.
says nothing. It really says nothing. And then the player population is all over the place, right? Like, it's skewed heavy to like towards NA and EU populator, right? Like the lobby itself. So
That's facts.
hard to tell.
Yeah. Middle East also kind of leveling up on one of the sides of the world. Some of those players, although kind of raw in terms of how their game is in terms of definition, the talent and the skill is definitely there. Just needs a little bit more time.
Do you think ME is gonna hit the format to close the tournament by game 10? It's changed.
Might be a possibility, really.
It has changed, yeah. The number, well, just before the numbers are like, let's be honest, out of reach. Like, if you were gonna hit it, you were hitting in the 12th game.
Yeah.
And I think only Middle East came like close in game 11 or something like that. But
Yeah.
either way, if you look at those numbers and kind of correlate them to what will be the new tournament ender with the format, that'll be closer to like a game 10 if they were on that pace, which is pretty respectable. Because if you're, you just bomb out game 1, I mean, come in day 2 and
Early
just start,
dinner.
yeah, putting in work, you deserve it, right? So I kind of like where it's landed. I think it's a fair little spot. So I think we're gonna see 3 regions hit it next season, maybe 4.
Oh, you say anything? Asia, Brazil, ME, and
NA.
maybe.
I think it's gonna happen on NA.
Really? Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, for us on EU, the points were so low. It was like in the 200s last time.
I'm gonna be peacing out early. I'm telling you.
This man is just gonna be chilling the entire time. We'll see what breaks down.
Already got plans.
Look at this now, though. In game, we tune into the exciting action part. Tanks on tanks, and they're getting broken down. This one's on fire. TK's gonna have to run. It's Orlando and Sol who always have their tank taken out early. Not even with a scratch right now on their HP pools.
Yeah, this is where things start to get interesting now that everyone's managed to migrate their way to the end game. This one dominant position, though, outside the tilted towers. We've seen this before, but this time it does look like the zone's gonna pretty much pull here. Oh no, Cease tries to jump into the vehicle. That doesn't work out. Kevin Soul's forced to switch seats here. Bert, what are you doing? It doesn't last very long. A valiant effort, but not good enough here. Cowcatchers have to come down actually for the save. This is gonna work out. Nicely done there. So he has just enough space here and just enough high ground to keep a low profile. And the zone's just far enough as well. That's a couple things aligning from him, if you will. But there's a lot of players in the game here, Shadow. I mean, it's going to be tough to survive right now.
Absolutely. Gandhi and Dictating kind of ran down
Oh my God.
and made life so difficult. Gandhi just missed a point-blank shot on a TK. Not sure what's happening there, but he gets dunks right beside him. Can he make it up this mountain? Does he want to? Because that's where all the fire starts to come in. Carry has hijacked Soul's tank. Lando is now down, so they swapped exactly who is alive and who is in that knocked state. And now Carry is rocking, I was about to say with Fatch against another tank, but it's Rotten Twinkies who's inside the driver's seat. It's another combination situation inside this tank ground.
Yeah, this is hilarious. I was looking at it. I was like, well, Fatch is definitely not here and someone's driving this. It's not going to work out, though. Everyone comes off the rift, tries to land inside the vehicle. But it's Twinkies who manages to stay up right now. Pressure coming in, though, from the gunner there. Casker and AV managed to make their way out of the basement. I don't know how they weren't spotted, by the way, because Gandhi had the tank and the visuals to see them like 100%, but couldn't land a shot. Gandhi manages to ditch his tank, and now he's coming from up above. Again, the only good spot left on the map right now is that little piece of high ground, but even that's not going to last very long as things are starting to pull uphill here.
3-man tank on the ground right now. AV and Caster, 6 anvil missiles as well to use to maybe have a chance to survive towards the end. Jamper's going to stay low-key. Dukes is going to be on the right side. They have control of a major portion of the map. Gandhi's somehow alive all the way in zone at the back, doing some type of heal game situation. Jamper's Cowcatchers are down. Gandhi now getting focused by Crackley. Once again, this is 3 people in 1 tank. There's a duo shooting and a single man driving. Rotten somehow has just gotten by scot-free. Crackly can stop this tank whenever he wants, but he's using it first to take everyone out down. AV now in one of these seats. He can't jump in because Moon is there. He gets rifted all the way towards the skies. Ryan's still in the driver's seats.
Oh, he hit him. He actually shot him right there. There it is. So now finally starts to put the pressure on down. Torch coming in though. One's trying to keep the vehicle up while the other's actually putting in the shots. The explosions come through. The damage is big here. And Moondog, Crackly have very little to work with right now. What is Joe going to do here up against TK? TK sends him flying. And he's the player the most healthy here. It's all or nothing right now. Casker with the smart play behind the tree. Shots come out in the return. It's close here, Shayo. But it's all or nothing now.
And this is a battle for 1st and 3rd place, because I believe one of these teams, yes, it should be Pilkey and SJ maybe across the map again with a heal game. Another second. It's tech all around from every player. It's crazy here in Gamers Without Borders NA.
I mean, at this point, I think they did the homework. They've managed to figure out what works at the command cavern. And we know the vault loot there is good. The obs may not have showed them sitting there healing, but all the while they have managed to like make it to the very end. I don't know why they don't continue it out. Maybe it's just destined, but another 2nd place there, Chaya.
Actually just crazy. I mean, that is just nuts to see from this team. That was game 4 of NA as well. I just liked all the action we saw on that one. Had an essence of the tanks, but the meta kind of shifted to where people can now destroy them overall. That's really, really